Have you ever noticed something weird? The moment someone is always available, replying in 2 seconds, calling every hour, sitting next to you every single day. Somehow the excitement slowly disappears, but the second they become a little distant, suddenly your brain turns into a detective agency. Why didn't they reply? Who are they with? Why do I suddenly miss this person so much? It sounds crazy, but distance has a strange power. Sometimes it makes people colder, but very often it makes attraction stronger. And no, this isn't just about love. It happens with friendships, celebrities, favorite foods, even Wi-Fi signals, especially Wi-Fi signals. The moment the internet gets weak, suddenly everyone in the house becomes emotionally attached to it. So why does distance create attraction? Why do humans value things more when they're slightly out of reach? The answer is hidden deep inside psychology, biology, and honestly, human stupidity. Let's talk about it. Human beings are funny creatures. When something is constantly available, our brain starts treating it like wallpaper. It becomes normal, predictable, invisible. Think about your phone. When you first bought it, you probably cleaned the screen every 10 minutes. You held it like it was a newborn baby. You checked the camera quality even when there was nothing to photograph, except your ceiling fan. But after a few months, now it falls on the bed, the floor, sometimes your own face while lying down. And you just continue scrolling like nothing happened. Why? Because constant access reduces excitement. The human brain loves novelty. It loves mystery. It loves anticipation. That's why movie trailers are exciting. That's why people wait for festival sales even when they don't need anything. And that's why sometimes a person becomes more attractive when they're not always around. Distance creates space, and space creates imagination. When someone is always in front of you, your brain stops filling gaps. There are no mysteries left. But when they're absent, suddenly your mind starts building stories. You remember their laugh, their random jokes. Even the annoying things somehow become cute. A guy who used to chew loudly while eating chips suddenly becomes the sweetest person ever. After a week apart, distance edits reality. And here's the dangerous part. Your brain usually remembers emotions more than facts. That's why after a breakup, people sometimes forget all the problems and only remember late-night calls, road trips, or that one time they shared fries under streetlights, like they were in a romantic movie. Meanwhile, they completely forget the arguments, the stress, and the emotional damage that could qualify as a WWE match. Distance softens rough edges, but there's something even deeper happening. Psychologists call it scarcity value. In simple words, humans naturally value things that feel limited. If water bottles suddenly disappeared from stores tomorrow, people would panic, not because everyone became thirsty at the same second, but because rarity increases value. The same principle affects attraction. When someone is too available all the time, the brain unconsciously thinks, this is easy, this will always be here. But when there's healthy distance, your brain pays more attention because now there's uncertainty. And uncertainty is emotional caffeine. Your mind starts wondering, what are they doing? Do they miss me too? Why do I suddenly care this much? The brain becomes emotionally active because it hates incomplete information. That's why unread messages can feel more powerful than full conversations. One seen at 2:14 p.m. can create more drama than an entire Netflix series. But here's where people misunderstand this idea. Distance alone does not create attraction. Cold behavior doesn't automatically make someone desirable. Ignoring people isn't a personality, and replying after 3 business days doesn't make you mysterious. It makes you look unemployed and confusing. Real attraction grows when distance is mixed with emotional connection. That means the person already feels something positive before the distance happens. Imagine your favorite restaurant closes for 1 month. You'll probably miss it. Now imagine a terrible restaurant closes forever. Nobody cares. In fact, people celebrate. The same logic applies to relationships. Distance amplifies feelings that already exist. If the connection is strong, distance can increase appreciation. If the connection is weak, distance simply exposes it. And honestly, some of the strongest relationships survive because people give each other breathing room. Think about it. Even your favorite song becomes irritating if played 900 times a day. At some point, you'll hear the intro and feel physical pain. Humans need emotional oxygen. Healthy distance allows people to recharge, grow individually, and actually miss each other naturally instead of forcing closeness 24/7. Because forced closeness often kills curiosity. Curiosity is important. Attraction isn't only about beauty or charm. It's also about discovery. The feeling that there's still more to learn about someone. That's why long conversations at night feel exciting in the beginning. You're exploring another human being like an emotional treasure hunt. But when everything becomes repetitive and predictable, the emotional intensity drops. Distance interrupts that pattern. It resets emotional attention. Suddenly, small things matter again. A simple text becomes exciting. A voice note feels special. Meeting again feels fresh. And this doesn't only happen in romance.